Hello, and welcome to an episode of The Dental Speaker. I'm your host, Vanessa Emerson, and I am super excited to be here with one of my dear friends, Brandi Hooker-Evans. Hello, Brandi.
I love whenever I get to hang with you. So thank you so much for the opportunity to sit and just soak it up.
Well, I appreciate you being here. And the reason I have asked Brandi to come and share with us today is because she has come up with a brilliant way for speakers and consultants like yourself to be able to have multiple benefits from this one strategy. And we're going to go into that, but basically it's getting you in front of and building connections with and working with planners, sponsors, colleagues, ideal fit clients. So hang tight with us because you're going to love this strategy. But before we go there, Brandi, give me like the 1-minute version. Who's Brandi Hooker-Evans?
Well, I am a dental hygienist that is so completely in love with dentistry. I feel like I have unlocked the secrets to having a really fun and amazing career that fulfills me and serves my colleagues and serves my patients, and I'm able to take care of my family. I'm also able to put it away. I'm a wife and a mom, and so I get to come home and play with my people. And I've just really found this space where what I have right now is good enough, and even I really like it, and the stuff that is coming is beautiful, and I'm working towards other things, but I'm also not stuck in that I'm not good enough and my business isn't big enough, and there isn't enough. I just have found a way to enjoy where I'm at and work really hard to grow. So that's who I am right now in this part of my life.
Well, I will say yes, I'll second that motion, because I would say that I see that in you, that you do love dentistry and you love the people of dentistry and you love helping others help their patients and grow. And that's one of the things I really admire about Brandi. And of course, the moment we start recording, the landscapers come. And so hopefully you don't hear the leaf blower that's literally right outside my window right now.
Well, I can't hear it, so if it gets too loud, we'll just,
Awesome.
pause.
Awesome. Then we'll keep going. But so Brandi, let's dive in. Let's dive into this strategy that as a speaker and consultant, it's your brainchild. And ultimately, let's start with what is the strategy in a nutshell, and then we'll explore what is the problem that this solves and how does it solve it. Does that sound good?
Perfect. So the strategy for me has been creating a virtual study club. It came from a pain point. We had the shutdown during the 2020 thing, and and I saw dental professionals feeling like they were more alone than ever before. We've all heard the hygiene is on their own island, and the dentist and everyone's doing their own thing. Well, then we closed all the offices down, and now everybody is in their own home. And when we got back to dental practice, people were still feeling lonely and scared, and didn't know what to do or what to think or how to feel or who to trust. And so I just thought, what if we made a really simple, fun, mastermind opportunity where dental professionals could come. We could do a CE credit. They could sign in from carpool. They could sign in from their couch. Just make it really fun and simple, short and sharp. It's a 1.5 CE credit, a 90-minute commitment on a Thursday, one time a month, 8 times a year. I take the summers off. And I saw such a need for us to band together and get what we need. And for dentists and hygienists, we need the camaraderie and continuing education credits. So this virtual study club just hit all the high points. And then, as all business ideas do, it's really amoebaed over the last few years. And I'm actually starting season 7 this month on September 21st at 6 p.m. And so it's
That's crazy. It's 2 seasons a year?
2 seasons a year. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's
All in
awesome.
a spring semester.
That's awesome. And yeah, I mean, we are a couple of years post pandemic beginning. It is crazy how fast it goes. So for me on the outside watching, um, and being amazed at the success of this virtual study club, when we say, oh, it's a virtual study club, that alone doesn't sound all that sexy, right? It doesn't sound like, oh, how's that so different? Well, I promise you, hold on. As you listen, there's more. And for me, what I saw the problem at solving as a business advisor is I'm often hearing from our colleagues, how do I work with sponsors? How do I get the attention of more meeting planners? How can I collaborate with my colleagues at a higher level and gain access to their communities as well as share mine? And of course, most importantly, probably for most people, is how do I attract more ideal fit clients? And so when I saw what you were creating, I was like, hot dang, this literally hit all four of those targets. So tell us a little more, like specifically, what is the model? How does it work?
So again, this is amoeba a lot, and it's always this work in progress. So we'll go with what I have right now.
Yeah.
I found that when I first started it, I was going to charge even just a small amount. And that seemed a little bit of a barrier to success. My ideal audience often is RDHs because I'm an RDH, registered dental hygienist, right? So they are typically looking for the free piece of CE, right? And so working with the sponsors turned out to be such a powerful component to not only getting more of the people that I'm hoping to reach in because they have a complimentary ticket to this CE, but it also has allowed me to develop and grow relationships with partners that are on similar missions to mine. And then it benefits the sponsors because now they're also benefiting the clients or the attendees by being able to share what they have going on and their passion for dentistry and how they're there to help the clinicians or the patients that the clinicians are trying to help. So now we've got this synergistic room happening where the sponsors are making this possible for me to put on for the, there's costs associated with putting this on. But they're also engaging in with the audience that they're trying to reach. And I'm very, very careful about who I work with. I believe in the services or products of the sponsors that I work with, and I don't ever accept ambassadorship money. This is just the study club. And so when people come to the study club, they get to interact with the sponsors, but they're not sold to their email list. They're not sold to at the club. It's just a great networking conversation, which then what turns into business for everybody, correct?
Right. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. And I know you have, I want to just drop in here. Brandi actually has a workshop we're going to be talking about in a minute where if you're saying, well, that sounds great, how do I do that? Just keep hanging with us because we're going to let you know how you can find out more about really emulating this model, taking this model and turning it into your own. So how does it help us grow our relationships with our colleagues?
Okay, this has been so fun, Vanessa, because I have been able to do a combination of guest speakers, more interview type classes, as well as panels. So I've had people present a course themselves, then had more of a conversation style format, which I love so much. That one is one of my favorite ways to do it. And then I've also done panels where I had a handful of professionals come together on a topic. So we get to hear lots of different opinions. So the continuing education is always changing. It's always trying to appeal to a different part of your brain, a different part of your practice, so that you want to keep coming to the class over and over again, which is one of the reasons why I think I've been able to grow my audience as well as have so many repeat attendees, because it's not just the same, I made a recipe, it worked, and so I'm making it over and over and over and over. I'm really trying to add these different elements so that people are stimulated and engaged and ready for what's next.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I also anticipate from the outside that when we bring in these colleagues and highlight them and their knowledge and their expertise, there's a reciprocal something that happens here. I would think that most people would also say, well, how can I highlight you with my community? How can I be on your, would you like to be on my podcast? Would you like to write an article for my newsletter? I would imagine those type of things happen as well.
Absolutely. And it really solidifies the bond with your friend, or even if they're not your friend yet, but they have that topic you were hoping to have, and then all of a sudden they are your friend. And now we're building not only the tribe with our clients, but our tribe with our colleagues, because we are not alone as speakers and coaches. There are so many of us that are trying to make the world a better place, and we can do that better together. Even in the same exact space, if you're a hygienist teaching about oral systemic health, hey, you are my sister or my brother. We are going to link arms, and we can do better if we're all sharing our resources, energy, all of the dedication that we're putting into our career elevates higher, 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 higher. They're not your competition, right? They're your sisters and brothers.
Amen. There are so many dental teams and dental businesses out there that there are not nearly enough speakers and consultants to cover them all. There's plenty of space. Let's talk about the tribe. You mentioned building that tribe of like the ideal fit client or your community. So how has that developed for you? Like, what are your thoughts on what this virtual study club can do to help you attract the right fit client?
Well, the virtual study club has been really helpful for me because I'm able to reach people all over the world, but primarily I have Canada, the United States, Bermuda, a little bit of the Central America that are signing in. And because we're only one person, that you can sign on from Carpool in Connecticut, even though I'm your little potato girl in Idaho, it just adds this element of camaraderie that we didn't have pre-technology. So of all of the hardships that we experience with technology, we definitely have been able to touch more lives at the same time in different places, which I think is beautiful.
Yeah, I do too. I hadn't thought about you as potato girl, but now I got that in my head. So Brandi, my Idaho potato girl, I love that. And it does make it so easy to be able to expand our community outward. And I'm also thinking too that the topics you bring in, knowing your ideal fit audience and what they're most interested in, with your finger on the pulse of what they need, it really gives you a chance to showcase as being someone who is that expert that they can come to for help outside of the study club, right? With other coaching or that sort of thing.
Right. And finding your passion, one of the things that I think is missing in dentistry in the operatory is that little special something that you're super interested that you can share with your patients. Like, for example, if you're interested in sleep medicine and myofunctional therapy, all of those things, and that makes you feel so excited to be a dental hygienist, then you want to learn about that. Whereas someone like me, I want to dive into all things perio. So exposing these other dentists and dental hygienists to these different topics, I hope is also giving them the opportunity to see that they don't have to like what I like to bring that passion to their career and their patients, but that now they have some more resources. And Vanessa, the other thing that's been so great about this is I have 4 speaking gigs in the summer or in the fall, and then 4 in the spring, no matter what. And so I get to practice my craft, and I get to figure out what works and what landed and what didn't. And, there's so much of my own personal development that I'm working on each and every time. whether I'm the presenter or not. Facilitating a great conversation is a great skill. You're excellent at it. And you know, you've had to put some love into that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, I love that. And thank you. That brings us to that fourth potential audience member, which is the planner. And I think what I have found is that anytime you gather, 10 people or more, you've got somebody in that room that's somehow connected to planning a meeting. I mean, we as planners, you and I, right, would also consider ourselves planners. We're everywhere in the industry. There's so many people that are tied to meetings, especially right now when there's so many meetings going on. Everybody has a tie. And it feels to me like from the outside watching your strategy, what I also thought was brilliant there is it really gives you an opportunity to elevate as a influencer, as a leader of thought, as someone who's out there doing, and for planners to be able to sit in your sessions, or just even just seeing you doing this, I think elevates you, whoever you, Brandi, but whoever follows this strategy. And I wonder what your thoughts are on that.
Well, it's been really nice for me because on that level, it is my personal project. And so, for example, when I go to a dental meeting, I am there representing that meeting. And when I have the Stellar Infusion Study Club, I'm representing me so that when the meeting planners come, when the hygienists, the dentists, the sponsors, all of those people come, they are seeing me be me. They're seeing what my personality is and what's important to me and how I operate, which I really have been appreciating how much more value we're placing on authenticity. That my job isn't to show up as the puppet for someone else, but that I'm supposed to make my own contribution and allow space for each person to make their own. So I think that as far as being able to have it be a resume of sorts for meeting planners, it's been very, very effective because people know what they're getting when they ask me to come and show up at a meeting of other at other events.
I love that. And I'm gonna give one thought that I'd love to share. That's something I noticed from the side watching this strategy, but would also then give you a moment to think about. I'm going to ask you, is there anything we haven't shared that we should share? Will be my final question. But let me just point out that what I've noticed is that Brandi will sometimes give the lesson, will sometimes teach the curriculum for that session, or other times we'll bring in the colleagues. And I want to just point that out, is that it's not always interviewing others. And I would encourage others who are considering implementing something like this to be sure that they get the spotlight as well as the person who's the host. Make sure you're highlighting yourself as well. But there's so much more to talk about on this strategy, and especially to be able to make it easy to implement and take it and make it your own versus trying to figure it out. And that's why I'm so excited. I've been sharing with others when I teach my Transform My Business, or in my group coaching program, AMP, we'll occasionally talk about how can we create our own meeting or create our own offering. And it tends to come up, and I'll say, oh, you've got to see what Brandi's doing. And I was so excited that you were open to creating a workshop to be able to share with our colleagues how they can take this strategy, make it their own, and implement it and use it to grow their businesses. So can you tell us just a little bit about the workshop? How do we find it? When is it? All of that, and what would we cover?
So we're going to do a workshop for 3 hours on December 6th. It's going to start at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And you can find more information at createastellartribe.live, or you can go to my website and go to seminars. It's also located there. My hope is that we can gather together, and I would love to share the recipe of the bones, the structure. What's the foundation of doing something like this so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel? This is the to-do list, and then you just take the red pen and you scratch out everything that doesn't work for you, and you take the blue pen and write the things in that you're hoping for. And then as soon as you get that beautiful finished product of what you're hoping to, you just let go of it and know that it's going to look different tomorrow than it did today. And then next season it's going to grow. But I'm just so excited to share the recipe that's worked so well for me, and give other people the opportunity to serve their communities, because as speakers and coach, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to find the people that are our best fit for the mission that we have. Yes, we make a living off of this, but that's not why we do it. If we were just there to make a living, we would have stayed in the clinic or stayed in the office, right? But to serve our mission. And so then I would take all the hard part out of reinventing the wheel, share that up, and then we can be working together. And I'm also excited because when you have more than one person in the room, they're able to give you new ideas. And so I'm excited how I'm going to be able to benefit from our colleagues and what Stellar Infusion will look like after being able to have this workshop. So it should
I'm so
be
grateful
a
for
great
your
time.
abundance-minded mindset. So December 6th, we have the website createastellartribe.live. You can find out more there. The cost is $295 for the 3-hour session. Thank you for making it so easily affordable for everyone to be able to. In my mind, it's we shouldn't have to think too hard about this one. If you have a desire to create your own virtual study club, I'll give my own personal guarantee or stamp of approval on this from watching it grow. And Brandi, I mean, you've only been doing this a couple of years and you already have 7 seasons, 7 sessions, right? So, I mean, what I've seen is it just has become more and more successful. And I'm really excited to attend myself. So before we go, is there anything we haven't shared that would be important for our listener to consider around this strategy about how it can help them and help them with attracting all these different communities that we're all wanting to work with as speakers and consultants? Is there anything we haven't shared that would be beneficial?
I would say that it is a really consolidated, condensed opportunity to meet several of your goals at one time. And in my life, being available for my family and my friends and my hobbies is really important. And so when we can take several of these big goals we have for our business and put a bow on a nice smallish box, it opens up a lot of freedom for our enjoyment of both our professional and personal life. So I think that's the overarching beauty of doing something similar to a study club, or a study club is similar to mine.
Oh, love, 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 love. Createastellartribe.live, December 6th. Brandi, if they have questions, what email should we reach out to you at?
StellarOutcomes@outlook.com.
Awesome. Very
That's
good.
the one that has the least technical difficulties. So
StellarOutcomes@outlook.com.
StellarOutcomes@outlook.com.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I'll answer to any of them, but I have less glitches with that account. I don't know about you guys, but I love the technology and sometimes it makes me cuss.
Yeah. It's the world we live in. All right. Well, it was so great to spend this time with you. Thank you so much for sharing your light in our community, Brandi. And thank you, listener, for staying with us all the way to the end. I hope you're as excited as we are about bringing this workshop and bringing this knowledge out into our community. Really big, heartfelt thank you for sharing with your colleagues. I mean, not everybody's open to sharing. And I just love that you're saying, hey, this is what worked for me. I'll show you exactly how to do it. So that's huge. That's huge. So on that note, I would say, everyone keep shining your light, keep sharing, keep loving into each other. We are working in the greatest industry on the planet. I mean, seriously, there's no better place to be than dentistry. So thank you for watching the Dental Speaker Podcast. And until next time, be well.
Thank you.